you doing, everybody? I have to apologize in advance. I'm eating. It's been kind of a crazy day, and to be honest with you all, I wasn't going to do this live because I'm not feeling great, but I said that I was going to stay committed no matter what, and I always lead by example, and I like to keep my word. So this is a prime example of showing up even when you're not really feeling it, and just knowing that you're doing the right thing. I've been going through some personal stuff, and I'm like just coming out of the heavy part of it. So a little funky, but I told everybody and I told myself that I would show up Monday through Saturday, do the lives at 11, and I just said no matter what, I'm gonna show up, see how it goes. So today there's no particular topic. Yeah, it's one of those days. One of those days, ladies and gentlemen. But let me share with you what I do when I'm feeling like poop. Well, first of all, I don't shave. But I honestly bring myself to the moment, to the present moment, and I just get out of my own way and get out of my head, because that's what it is. Oftentimes, we are just so in our heads, and I'm really hard on myself. And as a life coach, I'm always trying to help other people. You take on other people's problems and the energy and everything, and then I have my own problems too, and sometimes it just gets heavy, but I'm being real with you guys. I'm a human being, and I also have struggles and challenges in life, and so yeah. Thank you. Jesus loves you. Thank you. Jesus loves you too. Jesus loves everyone. But yeah, and so what I do is I still went to the gym. I still am doing this live. You just gotta push through it, push through it. And like, I devoted some time this morning. I slept in a little bit, and I was like saying, you know what, I'm either gonna have a shitty day, or I'm gonna do my best to make it the best that I can. And that's a choice that I can make. And as long as you put that effort, I think that's what really matters, and that's what I'm doing. I mean, just showing up for yourself first, so then you can show up for others, and just being honest with yourself. But don't get yourself stuck there. Get out of there. Don't, like, when you're down, don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay down here, just feel shitty all day. Don't do that. Saffron Mama, I couldn't sleep until 4 a.m. Yeah, that's the worst. I had a really rough night, I will admit. I apologize, guys. It's probably like, I'm eating, I'm late, my vibes are a little off, but yeah, this is real. It's also important to just show people, like, it's a real thing. I'm 90% of the time, I'm a very happy person, but I do have challenges. And anyways, let's move on from that. So my son's name is Alex. Awesome. My name is Alex too. Thank you, Nikki, Knack, Patty, Whack. Some of the names you guys come up with, it just cracks me up. What are we doing? I know some of you are in the same boat as I am, in the meh boat. Actually, I'm gonna take off my hat. This is just hat hair, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Yep. It's just one of those days, and just gotta listen to your body, but then don't listen to your body, but also try to find that peace within you, and still do the things that you know are good for you, like working out. Like I said, this is probably the first and probably ever that y'all are gonna see me having a rough day. But this is what it looks like. And I still went to the gym, like I said. I still, I'm here, and you just gotta show up. Gotta keep doing the things that you know are good for you. I'm gonna do a meditation after this. And I got things that I gotta do, and I'm just gonna focus on getting that peace, I think that's it's very important. Not going to lie, I've been in bed for days. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. Why? What's up? What's going on? How do you pull yourself out of a funk? So honestly, when you're in a funk, it's you against you, right? And for me, like this morning, I just lay there in my bed for longer than usual. Usually I'm up by 6 a.m. and I'm up, right? But I had a really rough night and day yesterday, and it's been kind of a rough couple of weeks, but like it was bad last night. So I woke up with a really heavy feeling in my chest, and like it was hard to breathe, you know? So I was just like trying to focus on calming that down, identifying that feeling and where it came from and like what was going on. And I noticed that there were so many thoughts coming into my mind, and was like, okay, like you're just thinking about way too much right now, and you just need to focus on just this comfort that you're feeling, right? Of waking up and like this and everything that you've been going through and all the challenges that you've been facing, and just be kind to yourself. That's how you can get out of a funk. It's just like talking to yourself and like being easy, like calming your mind, and like don't go in the spiral of negativity, and like don't feed that shitty feeling, right? Like it's physical. That's stress. That's a real thing. And as long as you can just breathe and just calm yourself and just recognize and have that awareness of what's going on, I think that's huge. That's what helps me. That's what helped me this morning. And I just lay there until I feel ready. Like I feel ready to say to myself, okay, I'm gonna get up and enjoy the rest of my day. I'm gonna do this for myself, and I deserve it. I'm gonna do it, you know? So, but it's challenging, but the key is just not to give up. Don't give in to those negative thoughts, you know? You gotta like be strong and just take your time and be kind to yourself in the process. And then just, for me, like I'm a huge advocate of meditations. I'm a huge advocate of like identifying feelings, right? When I'm feeling shitty, and like not making it go away, but just being like, okay, it's there. Why? Like, let me just create some space between me and that pain, or me and that tightness. If I can't breathe, I take deep breaths. Like I couldn't breathe this morning. My chest felt like it was being squeezed, and my heart, like there was like an ache, right? I don't know if any of y'all have experienced that, but it's no joke. It's a heavy feeling. So yeah, like I would recommend that. Just take some time to yourself to calm your thoughts, do some breathing, and then just like walk yourself through that process of accepting what's going on, and then just saying, you know what, okay, like I'm gonna do my best today, and I'm gonna let this go, and I'm gonna focus on all the positive things, rather than just focusing on how crappy I feel. Does that make sense? I felt the same thing this morning. Yeah, it's not fun, right? I mean, it's so heavy, right? It's waking up like that is brings me back so many. I haven't felt like this in so many years, right? That it was very heavy on me. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. That's what helps me, and that's why I wanted to be vulnerable with you guys and share this moment with you all, to show that not only like I'm very real, I'm not like pretentious or maybe like some other life coaches or things like that, you know. I'm very vulnerable, very raw, very real with all of you guys, and I have bad days like anybody else. And this is a prime example for me to share like how I deal with those bad days, especially when they're heavy ones, like the ones I've been experiencing, and just to hopefully give you some encouragement, and you can feel my genuineness that it's possible to get out of it. It really is. You know, it's just be kind to yourself and go through the process. So, yeah. Let's see. Austin for Christ says, in the process of moving and had to do so much this morning, I'm exhausted. Well, thank you for sharing that, Austin. I hope that your move goes smoothly, and just take some breaths and, just take a break. Moving is hectic. It can be stressful. It's a lot. But how exciting! Hopefully your move is something that you're excited for, and I wish you the best of luck on that. Safrana Mama says, oh yeah, I think I read earlier you said you're having some men issues. I would never go through this stuff with anyone, but I don't know what to do. Just stuck. Yeah, so let me see. But what if your best is never enough though? So many things need to be done. I'm ready to give up. Hey Alex, Jen from Ohio. How's it going, Jen? Wish you a great day. Thank you so much. Ionila. Okay, so I would say, where did she go? Saffron. I would say that's important, right? Like the story that you're telling yourself is going to have a huge impact too. So if you're someone that when you're feeling low, that's what I'm talking about, like feeding to those negative thoughts, and you're like, well, I can't do this, or I feel like I'm not good enough, or I give up, whatever. When you say those words, they're really powerful and they lower you, right? They only put you down even more. So it's by having that awareness of recognizing, hey, I don't feel good right now, but I want to feel better. And that's the key thing. You have to want to feel better. And once you make that commitment to yourself, right? Then you say, okay, so how am I going to get there? Well, first I need to deal with these emotions and just create a space between you and your emotions. Like for me this morning, I was like, ooh, I feel this yucky, really not good feeling in my chest. I couldn't breathe. Like I said, I had a heartache, like physical feeling. So I just kind of closed my eyes and kind of created a little space between me and that feeling. And then I was realizing that I was thinking about so much random shit that I was like, I need to just calm, just calm my brain down a little bit, because there's way too much going on. It's not helping, and I need to focus on the real deal here, right? The real like physical stuff that I'm feeling, which is attached to feelings, and then just not going into a spiral of negativity, but then just saying, okay, well, what's the real deal? Like, why do I really feel this way? Well, I feel pain in my chest because I feel hurt. Well, why do I feel hurt? And don't put it on other people, but understand it. Don't try to solve anything, just understand it, right? It's like if a friend or somebody, maybe you want to call somebody, you just want to like just vent. You just want to be understood sometimes, right? You don't want somebody to solve your problem. Sometimes you just want to be heard. Well, our feelings are the same way. Like we don't do that to ourselves. And if we can practice that and just kind of just understand that you're feeling achy or you're feeling not great, and just find that peace. What does that mean? Finding the peace and focusing on that, and also being like, okay, I want to get out of this feeling. I want to feel better. So what would that take? What's the solution to that? That sort of shift in mentality can really, it's the start point. It's doing this to yourself. It's picking up your chin and really saying, okay, I got this. And that is the toughest thing to do. It's a lot of self-discipline and having awareness of feeling crappy, but doing something positive about it instead of bringing yourself down even lower. Does that make sense? Yeah, how's it going, Jeno, oh shit, I don't know how to say that. Acknowledging the feeling is actually powerful for sure, yeah. Acknowledging and then like just doing something positive with it. It's really, really important, Don't acknowledge it and then beat yourself up even more, because that is not constructive. It's just gonna make it worse. And like, why do that? Ask yourself, like, why am I gonna beat myself up? Like, why? Right? So if you can't come up with a good solution, which you won't, so then say, well, wouldn't it be better if I just didn't feel this way? Yes, it would be. So what would it take for me to feel better, right? So then just go on that, Jen, Ohio nurse. That's right, sorry, thank you, sorry. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, so just kind of like, you have to approach it from that angle. I would suggest, I would recommend, just be real with yourself. Be vulnerable, be gentle, be kind. Don't like beat yourself up, you know? So, does that make sense? Is that helpful? Thank you, Jen. Sorry about that. I am still sorry because you told me and I forgot. And yeah. Anyways, what do you guys think about that? Or would it make sense to say I should add underscores between the words? No, it makes sense. I just, just didn't read it right, but thank you, Jen. Nicki Minaj is Jesus. Very interesting comment. I always get someone that just says there's somebody that would always tell me to do a flip, and I don't understand because I don't watch a lot of TikToks, so I don't know if it's like a trending thing, but they're like, do a flip. And I'm like, what? If I beat myself up emotionally, why should I be surprised with others doing it? Well, you see, you can't focus on other people, right? Because you can't control other people, and you shouldn't want to control other people. The moment that we seek trying to control or expect things from people, right, or things like that, like we project like that, it's very unhealthy because you're shifting away from the fact that it's actually within you, the issue, right? And if you can come to terms and to peace with yourself, which you can control, then there should be some sort of peace with that, right? Because you can make yourself feel better. And I know you're upset because of somebody else, of the actions that somebody else has done, but know that that was their choice and how they reacted, and there's no justification or anything like that for what they did, but you can't control that, you can't change that. So why not just find peace within you, right? Why not focus on that instead, in which you can control your feelings. Does that make sense? But when you just get fixated on the other person, you can go crazy because you're like, oh, why did this? And you start thinking and you're manifesting, and the what ifs and the anger and the hatred comes out, and all that just boils up what you're feeling inside, which is that pain. And all that does is just ruins your day, and then you project that to the world, and you're just passing that pain along. Instead of just saying, you know what, the pain stops with me, I'm going to be responsible and I'm going to deal with that pain. And even though it was projected to me, I'm not going to pass it on, and most importantly, I'm going to come to peace with it for myself. Does that make sense? Wait, hold on. I saw you on Grindr. You most definitely did not. I'm enabling it in a way. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Of course it does. I understand. Loving yourself is so important. Yes. Self-love, it's something that I teach a lot, and it's extremely important to know how to practice that. Because if you don't respect yourself, if you don't know your worth or anything like that, you're gonna beat yourself up even more, right? And then you go into this projection of like, oh, I wonder if so-and-so, I wonder what they think of me, and you're constantly seeking for approval of other people because realistically you don't approve yourself. And that's another thing that I also deal with a lot of my clients is guiding them and helping them understand, like, it's really not out there, it's within you, right? And you have to be very careful on how to introduce that to people, because you have to kind of walk them through that process. And when you are used to just constantly focusing on the outside, focusing on people's approval, focusing on society and what they're going to think of you, and you don't practice self-love, you don't practice self-worth, you don't practice self-respect, then you're constantly going to be just with this yucky feeling and anxiety and stress and all that because of other people. How am I doing, Carrie? I'm doing great. How are you doing? How are you doing? I stay as busy as possible to try to avoid everything until it boils over. That's not a good thing, right? Because what happens when you do that is you're avoiding. And when you avoid it, like, you're just saying like, oh no, like, it's there, but I'm gonna pretend it's not, right? But it's, and your mind, because there's a feeling attached to it. So your mind or your body, will keep bringing it up. Hey, hello, can we deal with this? No, okay. Hey, yeah, how about now? Can we deal with it now? Because now we got like this guy over here, and he's pushing me forward. Right? And the list goes on, and you have a list of things that you haven't dealt with. Finally, you have no more room, and you blow up, and now everything comes in. And now you're feeling overwhelmed, now you're feeling stressed, now you're feeling anxious, and you don't know where to start, and you're feeling worse than ever. Does that sound pretty familiar? So if you know that, break the habit. Break the habit. That's it. It's breaking the habit. And understanding that if you have that awareness, like, don't keep doing that to yourself. And I know you're gonna tell me, most people tell me the same thing. Yeah, Alex, but it's tough. A lot of things are tough in this world. Don't have that perspective. Just have the want to change. Have the want of think about like how it would feel to not have to deal with that explosion anymore. Think about the benefit of doing the work now, breaking that habit, and how that's gonna just change your life for you to feel better and be able to handle things from a much better place. Haywood MC says, I agree 100%. I can only control myself and hopefully be good examples for others. Be a good example, for yourself. And if you do that, you will be a good example for others. 100%. Are you guys liking my hair? Where can I find a boyfriend at? Where can you find a boyfriend at? I don't know how to answer that question. I think the right person will come to you. Just live your life, you know. Ignoring the negative feelings and can manifest physical. Exactly. Yes, 100%. I learned that the hard way. Yeah, your mind controls your body. Your mind controls your emotions. When people say, well, I can't control my mind, that's the biggest problem. But you do. But if you feel like you are not in control of your own mind, if you feel like you're not in control of your own life, then of course it's going to feel sporadic. Of course it's going to feel overwhelming. Of course you're going to have anxiety. Of course you're going to feel like, I can't breathe. Right? That's normal. So I'm actually launching a course in July. It's called Discovering You. And I teach the method on how to gain control of your mind and how to know, right, if you're feeling lost, how to manage your feelings. So when you're first of all, you know everything that means to you in life, like what are the things that are important to you and why, but most importantly, you can now have a clarity as to what your life is all about and who you are, which a lot of people struggle with. So if you're interested, check out my link on my page. It's called Discovering You. Sign up for it. It's going to be July, middle of July. Sign up for it. It'll be a good one. Yep, I didn't say I was smart. You are smart. I'm not saying you're not smart. I hope you didn't take that the wrong way. I'm sorry if I came harsh on that. I'm just saying, like, just think about it, you know? Ignoring the negative feelings and manifest physical. Oh yeah, you already read that. I think you need to be my therapist. Chelsea, thank you so much for the compliment. I am a life coach, not a therapist. A little different. Actually, it's very different. But yeah, definitely, this is what I do for a living. So if you would like to work with me, just set up a discovery call and we can do that. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Rawan, hi from Jordan. How's it going, Rawan? Is that how you say it? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is letting go, right? And letting go is so healthy. It's so important. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿cómo estás tú, Roman? Good morning, handsome. Okay, thank you, Donald. Amen. You're so cute. Thank you, the Deco. I didn't say you said it. You called me out. I needed that. That's where I can recognize my issues. Never took it that way at all. Okay, cool. I'm glad. But yeah, so I like to just simplify things, and I think it can be very overwhelming when you don't know when you're feeling lost already in general, right? Like, you're like, fuck, I'm sorry, pardon my French. You're just like, I just don't know life. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do in life. I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what happiness is. I don't know. It's like getting in a car and driving somewhere, but you don't know where you're driving. It's like, it's not probably sometimes it's nice, right? But you don't know where you're going. It can be frustrating. So, or if you're not in the driver's seat, if you're just letting life drive you, you're in the back seat. You can't control the radio. You can't control the temperature, the speed, nothing. You're just kind of like, right? So I think it's very important to really help people understand that they can get behind the wheel of their own life, and they can find a destination. They can find a purpose to their life. And when they find that, it gives you liberation, right? When you find that self-peace, when you find that self-worth, when you find that self-happiness, when you find that just acceptance, right? There's a lot of peace that comes with that, and all of a sudden you don't care as much what people think about you. All of a sudden you're not worried about like look at me, look at my hair, look, I'm wearing a t-shirt, I just got back from the gym, I look like crap. Like I don't care, right? Because it's not about that. And you start to understand that what really matters is that harmony, that peace within you, knowing who you are, and recognizing and understanding we're here on this earth, and we're here for a reason. We're in this physical body, and it's a beautiful experience that we get to be humans in this life. And there's just a lot of things that really don't matter, that we amplify them and we stress over them for no reason. You know, I've almost died a couple of times, and that really just like woke me up in so many levels that you kind of really realize like, wow, there's so many things that really just don't matter, right? There's a lot of things that do matter that we don't put as much focus on, and we're not doing each other justice for doing that. So acknowledging ourselves is half the battle. Our passions, our purpose, and pains. Yes, our passion, living through your passion is the way to live, right? Like this is my passion, to help people, and I show up and I feel great. I love what I do. I have a lot of other passions, and I make sure I live up to those things, and you know, and learning, growing, right? Elevating, like being a better human being, so I can raise my vibrational field, so I can pass that and not like do this number and pass my pain. I don't want to do that. I want to be like, I want to learn about this pain, and I want to do this, raise my vibrational field, and encourage and pass on the light, the peace, the love, and that has to live within me first. And I hope that all of you can understand that. Does that make sense? Damn, perspective hitting hard right now. Good. I usually don't care what people think unless I love them, my family. Yeah, that's because you have an emotional attachment to them. So it's different, right? When we allow people closer to our heart, emotions are so powerful. Emotions is what drives action. Emotion is what drives happiness and sadness and depression and ecstasy and all the great and the not so great, but we need them both to grow and to understand what we are and who we are, right? But it's just perspective, and it's understanding, right? Understanding that who we are and how we deal with things and how can we grow. How did you almost die? I had a couple different incidents. I had probably like a handful of them when I was in the Marines. I was in the Marines for 7 years. But then even before that, I was kind of just a wild card person. I was kind of am an adrenaline junkie. But I've calmed down a lot more, and I just love to just feel that rush, you know? So, you know, I did things that were probably not the brightest, but, so I've had both like things that were dumb that I shouldn't have done that caused me to almost die. And then my time in the Marines, put me in situations that were not so great. So that's how. Well, it is refreshing compared to the other lives I just scroll through. Thank you, Brooklyn. Is that what it is? Yeah, Brooklyn, Dawn. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a little different. You know, I use this app to connect with people and to just use it as a portal to just be able to help. I know a lot of people are on here, and there's a lot of great stuff, but there's also some, which is good. I think a balance of everything is good, but I have this responsibility and this need of just wanting to help people, and this is my way of giving. I do this for a living, but this is my way to come on here and give someone some hope, give someone a tool, or give someone something that they can, a perspective that they can maybe shift. So I hope that this is all helpful, and I'm glad that you're finding it insightful and you're enjoying it. I really appreciate that. Saludos de Mexico. Good morning. Buenos días. Anyways, do you guys have any other questions or anything like that? I'm about to log off here. I'm sorry I'm eating. I'm starving. To do a little multitasking here. Gotta feed the soul and feed the body, you know? Hey, Glass 532. It's been very helpful. Thank you. You're very welcome. Chelsea, thank you so much for that beautiful comment and for your support. Again, I do these Monday through Saturday at 11 Central Time, and I usually have like a different topic. And if you gotta go or whatever, if you want to come back to it, go to my YouTube channel, which is my YouTube channel, podcast, all that stuff, websites in the link in my page. And you can, all these are recorded, and then I repost them on YouTube, so you can always go back and like, watch them at your time, at your leisure. Rachel says, hey, hello, Rachel. Lisa from Georgia, my daughter and her boyfriend and 2 children have lived with me for 5 years. Wow. What to do? Well, that is a long time. I feel like there's so many questions with that question. So much context that I don't have. I mean, well, the question is that I would like to, in order for me to answer your question, is like, what would you like it to be? What would you like that to be? Would you like them to not live with you? Would you Like, what's the situation? And yeah, let's start there. We're gonna do this, guys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna help you out. What's your name again? What's your name? Lisa. Lisa. I want my life back. Great answer. Okay, so here's the thing. 5 years. It's your daughter and her boyfriend and 2 children. So there's probably, as a mother, a sense of like, you know, maybe a little bit of guilt. Like, you know, I kind of want them out of the house, but it's my daughter, right? And I feel guilty, like probably like saying, hey, like, hello, what are you gonna do, you know? Is that accurate? I just want to confirm that before I move forward. She's still here. Okay, cool. So there's one word that I'm going to say to that. It's called boundaries, right? You can love somebody and you can be there for them, you can help them and all this other stuff, but you have to have boundaries for yourself. And I think that you're welcome, Selfron. Thank you so much for everything you said and for joining. Have an amazing day. Tama, I'm going to answer your question. Give me 1 sec. I'm working with Lisa. So boundaries is very important, because if you do not have boundaries for yourself, then you give too much. And by giving too much, then your tank is empty. And when your tank is empty, now you're finding yourself like exhausted. You're finding yourself maybe thinking frustrated, or, you know, this love that you have for your daughter, it's coming with a price. And it's coming with some stress and some maybe anxiety and all this yucky stuff. And you just keep putting up with it. And because of that guilt, right? Like, well, she's my daughter and they have 2 kids and blah, blah, blah. And you go through this dance, and it's what keeps you doing it. But the question is how much are you helping them, right? They made a choice to have 2 children, and whatever the situation is, like, there's different ways to help people. And there's a difference between like, hey, yeah, you know, stay with me for a year, right? And you know, until you guys get up on your feet, and I'm happy to support you. We're family, of course, da 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 da. But 5 years, it sounds like they're milking it, right? And this is just my opinion, so just bear with me. So this is pure psychology here, whereas people sometimes will not grow if where they're at is comfortable, right? So if they're comfortable here, it's like, well, you know, I'm not really like too motivated. I'm motivated to find my own place and this and that, but realistically, like, it's pretty good here. Like, I don't know what the situation is, if they help out with rent or not, but so they want to stay there. And then it's good for them, but it's becoming not good for you because of what you keep giving, and they just keep taking, right? And if you don't draw that line, if you don't have those boundaries, it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. So at this point, what I would recommend is sitting down with them and saying like, hey guys, like, you know, can we talk? Coming in from a place of love and a place of compassion is probably one of the most important things to do, especially as a parent. That was the plan. My husband and I are broke, and okay, all right. So coming from a place of love, and then just sitting down and coming up with a plan as a family, right? And saying like, okay, here's the state of the union. Here's what's going on. How do we want to move forward together, right? Like, what is their plan? What are they working on? What do they plan on doing? And for you guys as well, what is your plan? And then communicating and saying like, hey, you know, it's been 5 years, and I learned so much. And there are just certain things that that would really help if you guys could help me out with. I think if we could find a little bit more balance, and if you guys could do these things, it would really mean a lot to me, and it would really be helpful. And then just being open with them and saying, you know, I feel like X, Y, and Z, and this is just how I feel, and I'm just want you to know that's how I feel, and I would like to find more balance with this situation. So communication is extremely important, and coming from a place of love and compassion is the way to lead those conversations. But making it very clear that, hey, like, this is not resonating. We are all stagnant here, and it's impacting everyone's lives. So why don't we come up with a plan that will get us out of this, that we can all be successful, right? At least, and while that plan is in motion, how can we have more balance in our living space, right? So that would be my recommendation, that starting point, and just kind of not putting rules, but just putting some boundaries, right? I think it's really important for you to be able to express your emotions to them. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, they don't pay anything? Yeah, I mean, I don't think, it doesn't take 5 years to find a job. And I understand kids are expensive and this and that, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to help people, at what point are you helping or are you hindering? You know what I'm saying? You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome, Lisa. Yeah, I mean, and it's tough, right? I mean, it's tough, but sometimes you have to kind of like give your kids a little bit of a push, and so they can grow, so they can get past that stagnant stage. And you know, you guys have to figure it out. People have to figure it out all the time, and sometimes when you just don't, when you think you're helping people, but you're just enabling them. You know what I mean? Right, tough love. Okay, Tama, yes, thank you so much. I completely forgot. I'm a life coach, life and health coach. I don't have a specific niche. I know that that's kind of a thing for life coaching. I just focus on empowering people, I guess, and really showing them like that whatever situation they're dealing with, like all the answers is, whether it's career, you know, relationship, happiness, self-esteem, the answers are not out here, it's within here. And it's healing, it's rewiring the brain, and it's adapting and letting go of new habits. Letting go of old habits that are not doing you justice, and adapting new healthier habits so that you can make those changes, to rewire your brain to think differently about yourself, so then you can show up for that career, you can show up for that abundance, you can show up for that relationship, you can show up for the rest of the world. So that's pretty much how I approach my coaching skills, and I believe that that applies to everything. I had to give tough love to my 16-year-old, and it was difficult, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Have you got a book? No, but I am working on writing a book. That's funny you say that. So it's not going to be out for a while, but no, not yet. Not yet. Thank you though. That's very kind of you to ask me that. Thank you. You're awesome. You're very welcome, Lisa. And if you ever, you know, have any like need any other recommendations or anything like that, like hit me up. Like I said, yes, like this is what I do for a living, but I do try to help out people as much as I can. Typically on these lives is my like giving time. I believe in giving. It's extremely important. So always come to my lives, and you can always ask any questions you want, and I'll be more than happy to help. How's it going, Amira? How you doing, Amira? Good to see you. Always brings a smile to my face and my heart to see Amira. Amira is one of my clients. She's an incredible woman. Happy to see you. What do you recommend to someone to do to stop being a people pleaser and learn to say no? So people pleaser and learning how to say no. Those two things have to do with you, right? So why do you want to please people? Because it makes you feel good. And oftentimes you want to please people because you want acceptance, right? So you want acceptance from other people, but do you accept yourself is the question. I don't know. You let me know. And saying no, it's having discipline, right? And it's kind of connected. Because you want to please people, you have a hard time saying no, right? And it's because of you want that acceptance. No, that's not how it is? Or what do you mean by no? Rachel. Me too. Thank you, Coach. You're welcome, Amira. What do you mean by no, Rachel? I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Tama, the book Codependency No More was amazing for learning how to make boundaries. Yeah, I've heard of that book. It is really good. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of like really amazing tools out there. So yeah. OI from Yorkshire, how's it going? I don't please people to find acceptance. I do it because I like it. Okay. So, but why do you find pleasure? Like, why do you like it? What are you eating? Sorry. I was eating eggs with spinach and some salsa on the top. Egg whites. No to accepting myself. Okay. Jesus loves all. Okay, thank you so much. Anyways, basically you're saying you like to do it, but you don't want to do it, which is kind of contradicting, right? Because it sounds like maybe you do it too much. Why don't you want to do it? People pleasing, it's not a good thing. I'm telling you right now, like there's a difference between people pleasing and then being kind, right? Being kind is a great feeling and everyone should practice it. But when you are people pleasing, that's your intent and everything is you want to make sure that everybody is happy and you're willing to do anything for that person, or you go out of your way. You say you like it, but you just told me you want to know how to stop that. So how does that work, right? So there's something that you're not telling me, and the fact that you don't know how to say no, it's also that self-discipline, right? That, well, if you know you shouldn't do that, or you know that, you know what, like I know they need help, but I can't do that right now, or I have other things or other priorities, is having that self-discipline to be able to say no. So I would like to explore more of those two things in order for me to best answer that question, if that makes sense. And I'll give it a few more minutes and I'm gonna take off. I gotta go shower, guys. I gotta get a shower. Anybody else? Anything else? Okay, I think that's it. All right, well, thank you so much for all of you who stayed with me. I really appreciate you all. Again, if you want to review this or review any of my other lives, go check out my YouTube channel. They're all there, every single one of them. And I post them like every single day. I post a new one. So this one won't come out probably until next week because I'm behind on that. But I do lives every single day, Monday through Saturday, from at 11 a.m. Central Time, US time. It's something that I've been doing new. I'm very committed to it. So I'm here for you guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining, for all your questions and participation. Have a blessed and amazing day. And I send you all of you all my love, my peace, and all the highest vibrations. And please remember that you can change your life today. All right, take care, be brave. Until next time.